because of a car accident. Man receives animal organ transplant. From then on, the second line of Ren and Do was opened. Become a veritable half-orc. Not only run faster than a horse, jump higher than a monkey, nose is smarter than a dog, superb swimming skills. Even the dolphins get dry salt when they see it. With these miraculous abilities, he has made great achievements in swordsmanship. Soon to be a small town, the most popular super cop. However, a few days ago, he's just a good-for-nothing nerd who only sees dogs. Because of asthma, his stamina is at full shock. An old man in his 80s who can't run, can't beat the dog next door. A group of 8-year-old children can play him like a monkey. Even the old orangutans at the shelter use him as a toy. Crazy friction on the ground. His name is Marvin, a superb loser. It's a temporary worker in the police station who guards the government affairs. Although this position is the lowest in the world, but he has high ambitions. Aspire to be like a brave and mighty policeman like my father. Nighy's body is too weak. Physical training lasts every time. Is the focus of ridicule. Even a 200-pound fat girl looks down on him.
Take a good look at that ass. You'll be following it all day.
During the firefighting test, teammates easily extinguish the flames. He treats people like beggars. Throw a coin in a can and get away. Fighting test. He was even thrown to the ground by the grandmother. Fighting helplessly. In the end, we can only sneak attack and cheat. Protecting the old lady with a gray face to get through. To the strain test. Everyone else wears body armor. Only he wears crotch pants. Finally climbed the graduation wall. Result. Because seeing the audience holding up signs mocking themselves. Fell down on the spot. Not surprisingly. In this physical fitness test, he was at the bottom again. Fortunately, there are 2 buddies to comfort him. I can.
You okay?
At least you didn't pee in your pants.
Maybe we should wait till everyone leaves.
The best friend took her to the bar for fun at night. Fatty because of gluttony. Usually there is no sense of presence. Xiaohei is too sensitive. Everyone feels that the other party is discriminating against black people. Marginalized. They hug each other for warmth. So you don't feel like you're different. Marvin was on duty at the bureau this day as usual. Suddenly received a call to the police. Since everyone else is out playing softball, he can only drive alone to the police. Unexpectedly, a seal sprang out on the way. Caught him off guard. It doesn't help to swipe the steering wheel. Just like that, people and cars fell off the cliff. Fortunately, Marvin was lucky. Half-life left.
万幸的是，马文命大。
This is just great. Half-life gone. Directly passed out. Night falls. A mysterious eccentric dragged him out of the car. In a trance, Marvin found himself on the operating table. Doctor with goat. Animals such as seals and monkeys surround themselves for surgery. I do not know how long it has been. When he wakes up again, I found myself lying next to the car. No back pain, no leg pain. Good health. Could it be that the cliff fall incident I experienced before was just a dream? What he doesn't know is, this experience will completely change his fate. Go home. The neighbor's vicious dog rushed over as usual, but this time he was uncharacteristically. Looks like he's afraid of Marvin. Trembling pee all over the floor. When looking in the mirror, Marvin found a small gash under his chest. It hurts to touch. What he can't see is, there is still a huge cross scar on the back. The next day, my good friend asked him where he had been for the past few days. Only after I asked did I realize that I had disappeared for 8 days. Fortunately, the sense of presence is low enough and no one noticed. After finding myself full of strength, he immediately challenged the old man next door.
On your left? Your patio guy, big man!
Then he challenged the knights on the side of the road. Run all the way and leave it far behind. When I came to the park, I happened to see the goddess I had a crush on walking her dog. Mawen came forward to strike up a conversation. Unexpectedly, the uncle on the side is walking his dog with a flying saucer. Marvin's body was involuntarily attracted to. Finally just rushed up. Grabbed the flying saucer with the pet dog. Such a weird move. But it didn't arouse the goddess' resentment. Instead, it piqued his interest. Offered to invite Marvin to play at the animal shelter. Marvin doesn't know yet. This weird ability not only brought him good luck, it will take his career to the next level. With this ability, he will successfully solve a smuggling case for customs. He lowered his head and sniffed the man's ass. It was immediately determined that the other party was a drug dealer. In full view, he stretched out his dragon claws and searched the man in the suit. Quickly pulled out a white bag. The patrolman on the side tasted it and said,
Harold, you're pretty good, buddy. What's your name?
Mange. Marvin.
It didn't take long for the chief of police to be alerted. At the press conference, the director lavishly praised him. Looking at Marvin who is showing off in front of the reporters, the sheriff who often bullies him is very upset. A pair of eyes in the dark. They are secretly monitoring Marvin's every move. At night a mysterious old man called to stop Marvin. He used an anesthesia needle to knock him out. Wait for Marvin to wake up. Find yourself in an animal park. The old man told him that he saved him. Animal organs were transplanted into his body. Save Marvin's life. He also endowed him with abilities far beyond ordinary people. I heard it was my savior. Marvin is very grateful. Ready to leave after small talk. The doctor told him that the surgery has serious side effects. Grant will gradually control his. Once human nature is out of control, it will lead to disaster. Only staying in the laboratory is the safest option. However, Mawan, who had just been promoted and still wanted to fall in love. How can you listen to the doctor? He insisted on leaving. The next day Marvin was called by the sheriff to lecture. He didn't hear a word. Staring at the chicken leg in the sheriff's hand the whole time. Uncontrollably rummaging through the trash can after the other party leaves. Eat like an animal. This scene happened to be bumped into by the chief. The scene was very embarrassing.
I've eaten out of the garbage before.
During the execution, I saw a beautiful girl passing by. The adrenaline in Marvin's body was soaring out of control. The old lady at the side thought she ran into a perverted criminal policeman. In the afternoon he came to the animal shelter to visit the goddess. As a result, the animal desire was once again stimulated by the fish in the fish tank. Put your head in the fish tank and have a fight with him on the spot.
You might want to get a cover.
See goddess for vulture cubs. Refuse to eat and feel sad. Marvin chews earthworms directly. Let the other party peck from your mouth. After finally regaining human sanity, he got fucked again by a gorilla. Plug it in like this. When the girls turned around, they pretended to be kind again. What scares him even more is, I will be full of beast desires at night. Go hunting as a nocturnal animal. Wake up the next day. Marvin found himself lying in the butcher's shop. Swollen belly. Make him realize what happened last night. He hurried to seek medical help. Under intense training, the belly finally got reduced. The doctor told him that the greatest gift is food. When he is hungry, the bestiality will take the place of his humanity. In order to avoid being exposed as a monster, while performing tasks, Marvin always carries a bunch of treats. Keep your mouth shut as much as possible, but little effect. Once provoked, he'll also show his bestial instincts right away. This situation is getting out of control. During a trip, he was attracted by a beautiful ewe on the farm. He approached, follow the example of a ram and launch a violent courtship action. As a result, he was kicked by the ewe and flew 10 meters away. What made him even more aggressive was, at the annual mayor's charity, he is irritated by a cat. Chased up uncontrollably, mess up the charity event, just dropped stutter, gave the sheriff a reason to fire him, and at this moment, Marvin seems to have heard a strange sound, run towards the pond, fly into the water, bob up and down, successfully rescued a drowning boy. Coincidentally, the boy is the mayor's son. This wave of righteousness and bravery instantly won applause from the whole house. Under the benefit of the mayor, the director immediately made Malwin a regular. It made him very happy. Invite the goddess to dinner at night. Unexpectedly, the habits of the beast in the body are becoming more and more uncontrollable. Just taking a look at the slipped shoulder strap of the goddess, Marvin couldn't hold it anymore. He quickly found an excuse and ran to hide in the toilet. When he came back, the waiter in the shop actually hooked up with the goddess, and his hands and feet were even more dirty, which immediately made him jealous. A hook mark was scratched on the dining table, and when the other party was out to rest, a savage bull rammed the younger brother and flew him into the air. After sending the goddess home, Marvin turned back and hissed at the door like a dog to declare his sovereignty. Obviously, the instinct of the beast was right. A little bit of his humanity was eroded. At night, he broke into the farm again and killed a cow. The farmer came to the police station to report the case the next day. The nervous Marvin was called to the office by the chief. According to the portrait provided by the witnesses, he became the prime suspect. Because unable to explain where he was going last night, Marvin was suspended by the director for inspection. When he got home, he began to give up on himself, using branches to pile up the house into a water tower nest. Not only did the goddess who likes animals not dislike him for his various weird behaviors, she launched a confession. It was a wild night. At this moment, the sheriff led people to break into the door. It turned out that a hunter was attacked by wild animals last night. They suspected that it was Marvin who did it. In order to survive, Marvin ran away. Under the instigation of the sheriff, the villagers spread a carpet against the forest. Search on the way to escape.
My handcuffs.
You look so uncomfortable.
When did you take them off?
I don't remember. You wore them for a while, and then I wore them for a while. You are an animal.
I am? Awesome.
Marvin met the doctor holding the tranquilizer gun again and learned from the other party that he was not the first person to transform, and that there was another test subject before him. The recent attack may be caused by the other party. In order to prove his innocence, Marvin decided to arrest him. When he came back to the depths of the woods, he was attracted by the smell of barbecue and started to bite madly. When the time was ripe, the sheriff who was ambushing at the side broke his gun, which made Marvin jump and dodge on the tree like an ape. The sheriff refused to let him go after him. In a car, he climbed up and accidentally bumped into a wooden pile, and the car raised his horse sail. Marvin took the opportunity to jump over the cliff, but the sheriff fell down due to lack of energy, and the security guard rescued him regardless of the previous suspicions. A black shadow pounced on the sheriff. Unexpectedly, the goddess, like himself, was a doctor's experiment. The goddess told him that the hunter wanted to capture his vulture, so she appeared to scare him away. A large group of villagers gathered around and threatened to get rid of Malwin. At the critical moment, his good friend Xiao Hei bravely stood up to cover him. When everyone saw that he was a black man, they immediately changed their attitudes and satirized him. At the end of the story,
I am the beast. I ate the cow, and I mauled the hunter. So do what you gotta do.
Well, I guess we can let it go this time.
Yeah, it's no big deal. What?
I'm not gonna be part of a mob that kill a black guy, I'll tell you that.
Let's move it out, people. It's all over.
the goddess and Ma Ben gave birth to a healthy orc baby, and the doctor also won the Nobel Prize for his outstanding contribution and found true love. This movie is called Human Face Beast Star, as a nonsensical comedy 21 years ago. It seems that there is no nutrition at first glance. In fact, the concept is a bit ahead of schedule, and it is extremely scary to think carefully, because at the beginning of this year, the idea in the movie has been reflected in reality, due to the delay in waiting for a living human heart. A heart patient in the United States who is dying in the middle and late stage can only choose to use it. The heart transplant operation went well, but unfortunately, the Heart only prolongs his life by 2 months, and this has become a major pioneering work in the medical field this year. With the threshold of a pulse transplant technique, he may become a lot of people in the future. The choice of organ transplant recipients. According to statistics, there are millions of patients who need heart transplants around the world, but very few can provide effective living hearts. Transplanting animal organs to patients may solve a large medical gap in the near future. When we were young, maybe I once fantasized about possessing the superpowers of animals to run and swim between the world. But if the premise is that you will also have their animal nature at the same time, so that you cannot live a normal life, will you still accept it? The movie leaves this question to the audience, with the usual happy ending in comedy, but in reality it is not that simple. If it were you, would you dare to face the restlessness in your heart? Well, this is the end of today's story. It's Salted Fish. If you have any stories you want to hear or movies you want to watch, you can tell me and I'll tell you. See you next time. Bye.